Hi folks, today I'm going to be talking about a couple custom hand textured dials that I made. These are made out of white brass, which is also known as German silver or nickel silver. Contrary to those names, there's no actual silver content in the dials, but they have a nice shine and shimmer to them that is reminiscent of a sterling silver, so hence the name. So I'm going to go through the process. What we're starting out with here is I'm basically drawing some straight lines on the metal that I'll use as basically reference lines to help me um, engrave a nice sunburst pattern into this first dial. So I just draw these out, and then what I'll do is leverage a rotary tool. In this case, Fantic rotary tool. If you're on TikTok, you've undoubtedly seen an advertisement for it. But I'll use the Fantic rotary tool along with a diamond ball bit to basically engrave out straight lines from a center point on the dial. And in the end, what we'll end up with is a nice sunburst pattern. So here we're going to see that I'm starting to finish up the first basically section of the pie, and I'm going to kind of check it to see how it catches the light, make sure that it's giving the effect that I'm really looking for, and then I'll move on and start working the rest of the way around the 360 degrees of what will eventually be the dial. So here I've basically created or finished the first pass all the way around, and what I'm going back and doing is basically fine tuning, seeing if there are sections of the white brass where I didn't quite get enough of an engraving, or if I left it a little bit flat. I want to make sure to get some engraving on it so that it catches more of the light, and you don't have any kind of just a like a harsh flat section going across. One thing I forgot to mention, if you're going to do something like this, make sure you wear either at a minimum a dust mask or possibly even a respirator. The little dark spots that you see around the dial are actually brass dust, and you really don't want to be inhaling any kind of metal dust or metal flakes when you're doing an engraving like this. Really not good for the lungs, so make sure you take care of your safety precautions. In this next part, we can see how it's actually turned out. So that is the sunburst effect that I've engraved with the rotary tool. I think it looks pretty good. It's catching the light nicely. And then what we're going to do from here is we're going to move over to the laser where I've set up a dial definition. So this is going to be a 28.5 millimeter dial with a 2.05 millimeter center hole that I've laid out in light burn. And then I've set up the white brass here in my holder, and I'm going to cut this out with my 100-watt fiber laser, which we'll see next. Now, when you cut any kind of metal with a fiber laser, actually pretty much any laser for that matter, you will end up with drues or slag along the edges of where the laser has cut. And so normally what I would do is take a dial and just throw it into a magnetic tumbler to work all that um, rough slag off. But in this case, since I've applied texture by hand to the dial, I didn't want to put it in the tumbler, which would potentially knock down some of the texture. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually taking a small flathead screwdriver and using the blade to break off the little bits of slag that are around the center hole and then around the edge of the dial. So I'll kind of push those off gently so I'm not messing up the texture. And then after this, I didn't get video of it, but what I do when I'm done cleaning the slag is I actually put this into a pickle solution, which will help to clean off any scale from the laser that might be left over, basically color discoloration, and that'll clean it up and give it a nice shine. In this next part, I'm using a 0.2 millimeter drill bit to clear out the small holes that I drilled in one of the dials to actually take applied indices. So just like the center hole or the exterior of the dial, the little dial feet holes will get some slag on them as well. So I use the drill bit just to clean them out. All right, and then in this final section, we can see the final product of the three dials that I made. So one has a sunburst pattern, and then two have a vertical or horizontal pattern, depending on the orientation of the dial. The one in the top right, I've actually drilled 4 dial feet, so I am going to put applied indices on that one. Probably also going to airbrush it with a nice transparent lacquer. So keep an eye on my channel if you don't follow me on Facebook or Instagram. Check out my channels. The final dial will be shown there. Hope this information was helpful. Happy to answer any questions that may come up in the comments. And until next time, thanks for tuning in.